In my last video, I talked about how phones are ruining our time, but I think they're also ruining our ability to focus. Like a bit of a double whammy from the phone front, really. But I'll reiterate something I said in my past video that it isn't really the phones themselves that are destroying us. It's the apps that take advantage of our silly little monkey brains. I can imagine a lot of people, myself included, feel like our attention spans are absolutely fried at the moment, if just completely non existent. Do you ever just sit down to do something you actually want to do, and then you find yourself staring at your phone instead, like 30 seconds later? I struggle to even watch movies now, and I love movies. It can be really frustrating trying to focus on something and just realizing your brain isn't cooperating. But the scary thing is, it's not entirely our fault. I genuinely think we're in a bit of an attention crisis at the moment. A lot of people are constantly distracted and struggling to do everyday things, like even the things they actually enjoy. And I think a big factor in this is the amount of short form content constantly being pumped into our feeds. It creates this dopamine loop where you just keep watching one more video and then one more, and before you know it, hours of your life have disappeared. There's a reason words like doom scrolling and brain rot have become part of our everyday vocabulary. They just perfectly describe that feeling of just wasting away staring at your phone. And sometimes it genuinely just feels like you're rotting your brain when you scroll. And these companies, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, have realized that this works. It keeps people on the platform, it keeps their attention high, and it makes them an unbelievable amount of money. So naturally, they've doubled down on it. How many apps now have like a short form video section? Instagram has its Reels, YouTube has Shorts, TikTok is, it's just bloody TikTok. I wouldn't even be surprised if Uber Eats adds one next. At the end of the day, these apps are designed to be addictive, like super addictive. They want you on the platform as long as possible because your attention equals profit to them. They're basically like the cigarettes of the digital generation, and they're absolutely like blasting big tobacco out of the water in terms of revenue at this point. Did you guys know that average digital attention span is now around 47 seconds? Isn't that just insane? For like a bit of context, that means that if a piece of content goes on beyond 47 seconds, like a huge percentage of the viewers just drop off. People just can't keep focused on things past a minute in like this digital realm. And I actually see this even on my own like YouTube analytics. My videos aren't groundbreaking or anything, but even I can see how much more attention shorts get compared to longer videos, which is kind of funny because YouTube originally built itself on this long form kind of content. But the real issue here isn't with just screen time. The real problem is interruptions. Everything we do in this modern world is constantly being interrupted by our phones. Even when nothing is happening on them, we still feel the need to check. And sometimes that quick check can even turn into like 5 minutes of scrolling or more, or like an hour, And then suddenly the thing you were supposed to be doing has been pushed aside. Whether that's like physically working, like physically being at work, cooking, exercising, cleaning, just relaxing, all of our life is affected by this. And most people check their phones over 100 times a day. You can actually see this yourself in your phone screen time settings. Like, I've been working pretty hard to reduce my usage recently, but even last week I averaged around like 90 pickups a day or something like that. So clearly I've got a lot of work to do as well, but here's the real problem. Every time you get distracted, your brain needs time to recover. There are studies out there that suggest it can take over 20 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. So if you're constantly checking your phone, your brain is basically stuck in a loop of trying to refocus and then just getting distracted all over again. Our brains absolutely love novelty. They love easy rewards and quick dopamine hits. There's that phrase like instant gratification. And you can see this with almost any addiction. And apps take advantage of this through things like infinite scrolling. When you go down your page, it just never ends. The non-stop notifications, the barrage of short videos, and like psychologically the unpredictable rewards you receive. You can go through Twitter and like Instagram Reels and just you don't know what emotion the next little chunk of information is going to give to you, whether it's going to be happy, sad, whether it's made to make you angry or rage bait you. Psychologists call this a variable reward system, and it's pretty much the same as using a slot machine. And we all know how addictive that can be and how it actually like destroys people's lives. Now that same system is being used on your phone in your pocket, the same device that you use all the time, every day. Every app is fighting for your attention. Uber Eats sends you the latest deals, Duolingo guilt trips you into doing your lessons, and Twitter sends you popular tweets even if you haven't opened the app. You don't even have to open these apps. They send you notifications to get you to use these apps. They're all competing for your time and attention. And honestly, most of it is just bullshit, designed to pull you back into their world. So, like, one thing that's helped me a lot was simply just turning off my notifications for almost everything. I still have them for, like, friends and family and things I use to message people on, but I've tried turning everything else off in terms of notifications, because you just realize you get bombarded with this all day, every day. And even that helped reduce how often I check my phone. Such a simple change like that. Short form content is probably the biggest culprit of this. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, they all deliver constant novelty, rapid dopamine hits, and like a very short burst of stimulation. And the scary part is our brains are starting to expect this level of stimulation constantly, all the time, which means your normal life starts to feel boring. But the boring parts of life are actually really important. Being bored gives your brain time to rest and think and recover. And if we constantly fill every spare second with stimulation, we never give our brains a chance to breathe. And that's when attention really starts to fall apart. And another big problem is simply just too much information. There's an infinite amount of content available at all times, whether it's just news, posts, videos, messages, notifications. There's always something else to consume. But our brains simply weren't designed to handle constant stimulation like this. I read that researchers call this attention fragmentation, where constant switching makes it extremely difficult or absolutely impossible to just focus on one thing. Despite all of this, our brains still crave that stimulation because of those little dopamine hits, because of the instant gratification. So here are a few things that have helped me start to break that cycle. I've already mentioned turning off notifications for most apps. This is just a big one. It'll stop you, when your phone buzzes and you just quickly go and grab it. It essentially stops that. Reading books instead of scrolling. This helps your brain just process less information like a bit more slowly, helps quieten your brain down and really slow everything down. Going for long walks without your headphones sometimes, trying to use my phone intentionally instead of just automatically grabbing it. This is a big one in the mornings. Instead of like grabbing my phone and using Twitter, I've been trying to read instead, or go and cook, or meditate, or something. Something that isn't just automatic picking up on my phone. And also limiting short form content where possible. This is just recognizing, ah, shit, I'm watching reels again, and just turning them off. And now I'll be honest. At first, this shit is boring. It sucks ass. And you will often fall into bad habits again. You'll sometimes fall back into those. But it's about building that discipline to break these loops, to break these cycles, and to break the habits that I genuinely think we can rebuild our attention spans. Focus is like a muscle. If you train it, it will come back, and it will come back stronger. Our brains have been trained to expect constant stimulation in this digital world. So it's pretty normal to feel distracted, unmotivated, and unable to focus sometimes. It happens to us all. And it's completely normal. But maybe the solution isn't complicated. Maybe we just need to slow things down again. If you've watched this far into the video, I just want to thank you very much. It means a lot. This is another video that I've just really enjoyed making. Who would have thought? Writing down my thoughts and my feelings. Whoa, being creative. Whoa. But yeah, thank you so much. If you liked it, leave a like, I suppose. Whatever. You do whatever you want to do. Just, I hope we've all learned something today, and I hope we can do better tomorrow. Love you lots. Bye-bye.